Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode on A Better World with Adrienne. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your energy and your time and your attention. And really, what happens when we come together for these podcasts is the souls listening. We all make a grid of light together. We make an energetic vortex of transformation, of healing, of knowledge, of skill. So know that, yes, I am channeling these transmissions, and at the very same time, every time you press play, you contribute to the grid, to the network of advanced souls who are here building a better world together. So that's a really important part of this conversation, this network, this movement. Thank you so much for being here. I have been having literally so much fun with playing with the structure of the podcast and playing with a little bit more shorter, more potent transmissions in tandem with the long form deep dives. I am literally one of my mantras that I want you to take and implement and install into the software of your life, aka your DNA, aka you, is I follow my obsessions. I follow my obsessions relentlessly. I trust my obsessions. I've gone into a new layer, a new level of obsession in my life, in my vision, in my business, in this work. And part of that is the podcast. And I've gone full obsession into what is the format of the podcast that resonates with my soul? What makes the biggest impact? What feels the most fun to do? Because honestly, probably one of the highest frequencies you can use to create dreams, miracles, and new realities in your life. And then obviously we make that inevitable in the world is fun. If you're not having fun, you're not tapped into creativity, you're not tapped into abundance, you're not tapped into joy. Fun is a very, very, very elite strategy to get everything you want in your life. So allow joy to interrupt any kind of sadness, grief, doomsday mentality that could be permeating in your field right now. Before I go fully into today's topic, I am enrolling one-on-one Lux mentorship clients for 2026. If you want to go deeper into this work with me, if you want to lock arms with me one-on-one, go into your personal astrology, your personal nervous system reset, do one-on-one retreats, immersion days, activations in person, anywhere on the globe, high performance coaching, deep ancestral coding, truly discovering your soul's purpose, exposing your highest levels of physical health, wealth, happiness, and freedom. This space is for you. It's for elite visionaries, successful mavericks, and founders who are seeking the next layer of your potential. That is who this space is for. So if this is you, if this calls to your soul, if you feel like magnetized into this, you might even not know why, you're just feeling an intuitive pull. That means it's meant for you. So if this is you, the link to apply is in the show notes. I'm enrolling clients to start in January 2026, and I could not be more excited about it. So the link to that is in the show notes. A few other goodies in the show notes: the January bundle, which is a curated collection of masterclasses to leverage this specific energy, and the Greece Atlantis retreat in June 2026. So there's just 10 spots for that. It's highly intimate, highly curated, and I'm booking now, filling the spaces now. So all of that is for you in the show notes. Pause this episode, go take action, fill out the application, get the bundle, do all the things, and then come back to receive this transmission. Okay, so let's take a deep breath together to open this space. No matter where you are, if you're working out, if you're drinking a cup of tea, if you're on a walk, if you're driving, if you are dancing, if you are literally, maybe you're standing in line at the grocery store listening to this, be here now. I want you to inhale through your nose, exhale out the mouth, and literally just throw your arms around a little bit to just release anything you've been holding, anything that's not yours. Anything that is energetic residue that you are just permanently flicking off your body, off your aura, let that go and allow this transmission to permeate your soul in a way that will change the trajectory of your life. You ready for it? Okay. Today's topic, the holy rejection most people miss. The holy rejection most people miss. Okay. First of all, if you're listening to this episode, you're not here to be most people. You're a maverick, you're a high performer, you're elite, you're a visionary, you are a rare, advanced soul, and you literally cannot allow mediocrity in your life. Mediocrity is soul cancer. Mediocrity is soul suicide. It's literally when you block your own blessings, block your own happiness because you are trapped and you choose to be trapped in the cage of conformity, right? So, this is a red pill, blue pill situation. If you've never watched The Matrix, definitely watch that. Blue pill is choosing to be in an illusion that appears to be blissful. And red pill is like, I wake up from the illusion and I create my own reality, right? This whole movement is about red pill, red pill, red pill. Wake up from the illusion and bend your reality to your will. That's how we make a better world. That's how we make a world we're proud of. That's how we birth new earth, okay? The holy rejection most people miss. First of all, you're not most people, thank God. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Thank God you're not everyone. Thank God you're not don't allow mediocrity. So this is for you. You cannot miss this holy rejection. A lot of people think about the idea of rejection as like, oh, like when you're going for a big dream, then you've got to be okay with rejection. Okay. And a lot of people say the mantras, rejection is protection, rejection is redirection. Rejection is, yes, an important part of the hero's journey. It's an important part of if you're going to do anything meaningful, anything where you are creating change, you will have haters, you will be rejected, you will fail. Like, you will fail more times than people to even take one shot. That's why I don't listen to literally anybody who's not in the arena. If you're not getting your ass kicked in the arena every once in a while, just like me, literally your feedback does not matter. Your advice does not matter. None of it applies to me because you're not even in the arena. This is a big, um, block that people create for themselves is taking advice from people who don't have the kind of life they want to have. Stop listening to people who are poor. Stop listening to people who are sad. Stop listening to people who are in toxic relationships. You've got to only surround yourself with a level of consciousness of the life you are creating, right? And that's why, especially in the theme of a better world, it's like if you are constantly doom scrolling and watching mainstream media, you will never ever access your contribution to a better world or any dream or any of your potential because you will be constantly influenced by the lies of chaos, the lies of lack, the lies of darkness, the lies of evil, like all of these things. You've got to take what you surround yourself with, whether it's people in person or ideas or the content and media you consume, you've got to take it incredibly, incredibly seriously. Like, do not allow that shit to touch you in literally any way, especially not your brain, especially not your nervous system. Okay. People talk about rejection, rejection. Okay. Rejection isn't part of the path. Yes. Will you fail more times than most people even take one shot? Yes. And and, you know, if you want to learn more about that, go to my episode about bankruptcy. Literally, the reason, first of all, that I was able to bounce back from that and spiral it into like one of my greatest times of quantum ascension in my life is because I didn't make it mean something about me. It's like, yeah, okay, I took a chance, I failed, who fucking cares? I'm gonna die with no regret. It's literally just money. I'll just make it back. And that's exactly what I did. Okay. And I made it back tenfold. Like, this is the game we get to play in, right? Okay. So, with rejection, it all starts with a holy rejection within you where you reject the straight up lies and illusions of this 3D world. Okay. And this is the holy rejection most people miss. And I call it holy because it's like in a world that protects people's dreams, protects their limitations, protects their scarcity, protects their fears, protects their scarcity, protects their small-mindedness, protects their comfort zone. You've got to be the one that's willing to protect your dream, protect your integrity, protect your connection to the divine. Okay. The divine has no limits. The divine is limitless wealth. The divine is limitless abundance. The divine is literally overflowing love and bliss and harmony and purpose and meaning and fulfillment. Like that's the truth of life. That's the truth of your soul. Any other thing is just a fucking illusion and you've got to reject it. And there are lies and beliefs that most people on this planet subscribe to that you must reject first and foremost. This is why I say healing is not enough. And actually, a lot of people are low key addicted to their quote unquote healing journey. Are you on your healing journey or are you just not taking uncomfortable action on the thing that you know would actually change your life? Are you going to another ayahuasca ceremony because you actually feel called to sit with a medicine? Or are you going to another ayahuasca ceremony because you're in an addictive escapism pattern under the guise of spirituality, under the guise of enlightenment, rather than, oh, I need to have this hard conversation. Oh, I need to leave this marriage. Oh, I need to leave this job. Oh, I'm going to start my business. Oh, I'm going to invest in my future and put my money where my mouth is instead of never saying or doing anything about what I say matters to me more than anything. It's like there is so much here. And healing is not enough. You've got to be actively rejecting the lies that are spit at us every single day, all day. This is why I work with Mavericks. This is why most of my clients are entrepreneurs because we unsubscribe to the bullshit of this 3D plane. It's like, why would I sell my soul? Why would I pimp myself out to go work for someone else to participate in a system that profits off my pain, that profits off me barely making it financially, that profits off of me just like being a robot and a puppet for something I don't even believe in? Why the fuck would I do that when I can build my own reality, when I can channel wealth using my soul gifts on my terms? Like, why the fuck would I participate in that? And here's the thing. You might not be an entrepreneur. Your soul call might be working in companies. However, those companies have entrepreneurs, and you've got to have aligned values with the magic of the founder for it to be a soul aligned match. Okay. So, do you need to be an entrepreneur? Do you need to be a founder? No. Are most of my clients this? Yes. What's really got to be, it's like, are you, first of all, working in a job you hate that grinds away your soul is literally pure evil. It's normalized self-oppression, just like the normalized self-oppression of poisoning your body with food that you know hurts you. Everybody knows alcohol is poison, and they do it anyways, right? This is why the core root of holy habits, the depth of work I do with my clients, it's like you want to get down to the brass tacks of the situation. We get to discover why, in the quiet moments nobody is watching, you choose instant gratification and self harm instead of your destiny. That's the real root of the work, right? So there's a holy rejection that must happen before you even get the game of being rejected on your path. It's like, no, I reject this bullshit, this status quo that most people live by. I relentlessly reject this. Okay. And I'm going to share a few examples for you from my own life that I think will be powerful for you. So, I've done this so many times. I can't even begin to think. Like in every single industry I've been in, first of all, I've studied the industry and the game so deeply that I understand what I'm rebelling against and then I can shatter the system really efficiently. I didn't realize that's what I've always been doing, but it's like I study the system so intricately and so deeply that I know exactly how to fucking shatter it. And it's like, okay, when I was in classical music, everybody told me you can never make good money in music. You either have to choose money or love, money or making a difference in the world. You can never have both. You either have to sell your soul to have money, or you've got to be broke your whole fucking life to do good in the world. And I said, actually, I reject that. That's a lie. I reject it, and I'm going to show you. And it's not even like, oh, I did this to prove a thing, but it was more like my soul rejects that. I choose a different reality. I will be the interruption. And this is why a lot of people, something I've dealt with a lot, and you may be experiencing this on your path right now as well, is a lot of jealousy towards me, a lot of people projecting onto me, a lot of evil eye, a lot of being canceled, people getting quote unquote triggered by me. And it's like, why is that? Because I refuse to conform. I refuse to participate in the lie. I refuse to participate in self oppression. I simply refuse. And so it's this radical, holy refusal of anything that's not aligned with love and abundance and your destiny. That's the holy rejection that starts this whole thing. And I guarantee no matter where you are in your journey, there's some kind of thing where you are not rejecting the status quo. This is the key to your next level. This is the key to your next unlock, okay? Most people won't like it. You will be misunderstood. You will be hated. You will be critiqued. You will be demonized. Anybody doing anything worthwhile in life is misunderstood and demonized by people who are quote unquote threatened by you being free. There's nothing more dangerous to the status quo and people's comfort than a free person, than a free agent, than a free maverick, okay? The holy rejection that most people miss. You've got to reject the lies. You've got to reject the programming. You've got to reject the status quo. Like people are like, "Oh, you've got to choose left or right. You've got to participate in politics." And I'm just like, I reject that. I straight up reject that out of my field. That's not true. And people saying like, "Oh, everybody, gets gains weight when they age." No, I reject that. I'm going to get hotter and more fit the older I get. That's what I decide. I decided, and that is law, and that is my reality. There is a new unfuckwithable certainty and magic that you must activate to step forward into your highest timeline for the highest timeline and good of you and of all, okay? The world does not benefit from you staying small. The whole world misses out when you stay small. The whole world misses out when you conform. You must have this holy rejection. Here's another time this happened, okay? I will never forget this. I was in my yoga teacher training and it was one of the final days, and I've always been a businesswoman. Like I really realized that like since I was like 7 years old, I was like, I want to make money. I want to make money. I want like I love the freedom. I just love this. And so I worked for my aunt. I worked on farms. I worked as a lifeguard. I did all these things. I worked way before it was legal. Cash under the table, baby. And that's how you know, like a lot of entrepreneurs, we have this coding, okay? Um, and it's I make my own way. I create my own reality coding. And this is something I've realized. This is like, can this be fostered and cultivated? Yes, but a lot of times it's something people just have or do not have. I really used to think, and I feel a little bit exposed in even saying this. I used to think that this work was for everyone. I really did. I was like, everybody wants to follow their dreams. Everybody wants to make change. Like, why wouldn't you, you know? And I've realized, and this is what there's this like some maturity that's come on my journey is like, it's actually not for everyone. Most people will never do it. That's what makes you special. And you're not special in the fact that, like, oh, you have problems or whatever that most people will never understand. No. However, what makes you special is that you don't squander your own life, you act on it. Most people squander their own life and they do it subconsciously, they don't even realize it, right? There's this innate fire within you. It's a soul call of rejection. I reject anything that's not love. Okay? And here's my example from the yoga world. Okay? I've had so many different being born an artist, like born an artist in a family of artists and getting both of my degrees in classical music, I was just taught and shown my whole life that I make my own opportunities. I'm the CEO, I'm the marketing team, I'm literally all the things. Like, I am the whole company. Like, there's some, if you're an artist, this is why I tell my musician clients all the time, like, you have no idea the skill set you have. The biggest thing blocking musicians is the idea that they need to be broke, the idea that, oh my God, like the amount of money fuckery that blocks some of the most powerful artistic creative souls in this world is honestly it used to really break my heart. I've transcended that because it's not my job to transmute an entire industry. It's my job to work with the people that are doing the work and ready, and you know my the door is cracked open for those people if they ever want to walk through. And um, I'm here for people doing the thing, right? Taking the action in the arena. So I was in this last final call and everybody's talking about, oh, I'm going to do this for my with my yoga certification, blah, blah, blah. And I raised my hand and I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about the money part of it because tell me how much do people charge for privates? How much do you usually make in a group class? Blah, 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 blah. And the teachers themselves, I could tell they were like squirming. They were deeply uncomfortable with the fact that I was bringing up money. And I'm like, but yeah, like how on earth are we going to serve if we're not resourced? And that's where it goes with the red pill, blue pill situation, right? Most people are living a blue pill life where they literally think it's normal to barely make it and settle for scraps. But deep down, it's literally self-harm of the soul, right? So they were deeply uncomfortable. And then they're like, well, oh, people usually make like $25 an hour for a group class. And I was like, and I literally said to the class, I was like, $25 an hour. I just spent $4,000 on this certification. I'm not trying to go drive around the whole city of Chicago for $25 an hour. I was like, I'm going to do privates and I'm going to set my own rate and I'm not going to be part of any of that. And the thing is, I didn't even say it to be I didn't say it to be combative or volatile or aggressive. I literally just like my soul in the moment, I was like, absolutely fucking not. I reject this. It was a holy rejection. And guess what happened after that? I built up clientele for private yoga. I was making like $150 an hour to start, which is honestly $150 an hour back then. It was in 2021 is like $500 now. Lots of things are changing. Um, it was a holy rejection, and literally everybody on that call, I could feel it in my nervous system. They were so triggered by me. And I was like, I literally do not care who I trigger. The thing is, and you might resonate with this as well, and you might feel triggered by this episode. I have no idea. Um, a lot of your soul mission is going to be people that never ever pay you. People that never ever engage in your work, but they just witness you. And you awaken a part of them that's been dormant, and they either answer that call or they don't. So anytime someone is quote unquote triggered, it's because I'm awakening some part of them that they haven't allowed, right? So people that don't allow themselves to get paid well for sharing their gifts, I tend to really activate them and make them deeply uncomfortable. This is why I got canceled by one of my own family members in 2025 because my refusal to participate in things I don't believe in, activated and shined a light. And again, it's not me just like barreling into their life and saying like, "Hey, you're doing A, B, C, D, E." I'm just over here living my life, just minding my own business, living my life, right? It awakened a part of them that allows themselves to be pimped out, that allows themselves to be extracted from, that has chosen soul cancer or soul suicide, right? There is a holy rejection most people miss that you must relentlessly pursue on. It starts before you even fail going for a dream, you've got to reject everything that's not that unconditionally in every single circumstance because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And it takes radical trust and it takes radical courage and it takes radical power. And I guarantee I want you to think about, okay, the first thing that's coming up in your life, it's a goal, it's a dream, it's a vision, something you are on fire to create in 2026. There's some part of you that hasn't rejected the status quo in that part of your life yet. That's why you don't have it. Keyword yet. And it's a rejection that you relentlessly protect because you will be tested, you will be sent tests, you will be sent. The moment you say, I reject this, someone will come into your life. So, one example, it's like when I was building, I recently raised my rates, okay? I don't know why this is all coming through on money. It just seems like a really important topic right now because a lot of the world they're up in arms about quote unquote economy, whatever. Literally anything in your life this could apply. But here's just one example from my life. Okay, I recently raised my rates. And I raised them by a lot. And I'm super excited because it matches the value that I've been bringing for a really long time. Um, and just working with a whole new level of soul, and it's really exciting. And then literally right after I raised all my rates, I had this like soulmate client come into my field. They filled out the application and I was like, "Oh, this is so amazing." And I was like, I was like building their package and all of this. And they checked on the form like, "Oh yeah, I have the financial resources. Like I'm all in." And I'm like, "This is epic. Let's go. Your life's about to change." Like and your vision's about to explode, right? And then we get to the time when it's time to book. And I share I was like, okay, the package that you requested with this, this, and this, like, here's the investment. And let me tell you, they freaked out about the investment, even though they had put on their application, like, yes, I have the financial resources and I'm excited. They freaked out. And I was called to a test in that moment is like, am I going to go into scarcity and try and contort myself and be small and self-abandon and lower my price or whatever in this moment, or I'm just going to hold the line and reject all of this scarcity. I reject this. Like, I only book clients from overflow. That's it. That's it, right? And so I just rejected it. I was like, and absolutely not, And that was a test. It was a test for me, right? So there's something in your life where you've got to have a holy rejection, and you haven't fully rejected something yet. There's something you haven't fully rejected yet, and you've got to reject it, decide, and relentlessly protect and follow through on that again and again and again. After that, you're going to have failure and you're going to have haters and blah, 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 like all of this fun, honestly silly stuff in the 3D. It starts with a holy rejection. And this is a holy rejection most people miss. Thank God you're not most people. Do not allow yourself to be most people. What I'm seeing for 2026 is people that used to be elite are crashing and the real reals are exposed. That's what I'm seeing. Just because you've been successful in the past doesn't mean that that's going to make you successful in 2026. New things are bringing success in 2026. So, if you want to fly with me in this, I'm booking one-on-one Lux mentorship. I'm also booking some in-person VIP days around the world, specifically in North America in January, February. So if you want that, all the applications, the links to everything are in the show notes. I would be honored to invite you into the space if we are an aligned fit. And yeah, there is a holy rejection that precedes everything else in the hero's journey, where you reject everything that's not love, abundance, or your dreams. And you hold to that and you do not waver. That's the podcast. That's the download. I love you so much. I believe in you. I believe in a better world. Go make a stranger smile. And I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.